Hey everyone, this is the LEGO Star Wars Battle on Scarif set based on Rogue One, and out of respect to folks who have not yet seen the movie, I will not be including any spoilers in this review because I don't need to. Folks who have seen the movie will readily recognize the things that I'm not spoiling, and the fact that I'm not spoiling them for the rest of the folks will not take anything away from the review, I believe. This is primarily a terrain-based set that gives you a large, wide-open platform that's set on top of sand around the shores of an ocean area. They give you a little bit of foliage over here, and a little bit in the back, including more of a tree. At the back is a base entrance in a familiar Imperial style, but these doors right now will not slide open. They're actually locked based on a mechanism that goes through the floor and is connected to this, I believe it's supposed to be a comm tower over here with an antenna on the top, and the actuator for that mechanism to unlock it is actually over here on this side. When you flip this lever, you bring it up, it's going to bring down the tower as part of kind of an explosion effect that you have to basically imagine, but then that unlocks the doors so that they will slide open. Just move some things out of the way. The interior is very thin but tries to simulate depth by having concentric geometric shapes along the sides that represent basically forced perspective. That is a sticker down there, but these pieces are just printed over on the side. These are just clips that can be used to hold on to minifig accessories, and on the other side is something much more important. The assumption is that you would fight your way into this base and capture the Death Star plans. That is a reused printed tile piece. There's a little bit more to this platform outside though. There's another console there which has a switch on it, which is very important to the movie. The LEGO designers also included a hidden weapons cache here, which has some blasters in it and a thermal detonator, and you can fit a little bit more in there if you want. They also included a realistic exploding floor feature, 2 of them. So push right here in this square and push right in here in this square, and this is what happens. That dude's gone. That dude's gone, and these panels come up. And beneath, they show you that what caused those to actually blow up was not a huge figure's fingers, but a couple of thermal detonators that were stashed. They also include one more of these orange cargo crate assemblies seen in the trailers and also included in the hover tank set in the first wave. And this one just has a pair of, I call them in this case, electro binoculars. Folks who have seen the film know what's actually inside here. Again, you don't need to spoil it for everyone else. The figures here are the Rebel Cassian Andor, an Imperial gunner, and then 2 of what LEGO refers to as Scarif troopers, or they're also commonly known as shore troopers. I think those shore troopers look good. They are just identical, which totally makes sense. And I appreciate the inclusion of the gunmetal gray colored blaster for Andor. I like a lot of things in gunmetal gray, and I like special, uncommon colors of weapons, uncommon colors of common things as well. Pretty decent prints on the back. It's a little bit simple for Cassian here, but especially good for the shore troopers. And I like the molds of those helmets because they're very, very crisp and they have nice detailing that actually goes down into there. It doesn't just kind of stop at the surface. They actually cut in with their sculpts there pretty well. These weapons that they have are just made with a pair of binoculars and a Galaxy Squad style blaster. Now, are you ready for this? The big helmet off reveal. Here it goes. Angry clone. Angry clone. Jyn Erso. What? Also, not a spoiler, as they showed us that this was going to happen already in the trailers from very, very early on. And they do include a hairpiece for her. That is good. That is nice. That is much appreciated because we do end up seeing her in this form, again, as seen in the trailers. Now, one other minor reveal, just the alternate face for Andor over here. Also an alternate face for Erso, which makes sense while she's out there battling or encountering difficulties. So these are good. It wasn't 48 hours ago that I was recording a review video in which I mentioned the need and want for more structure-based sets from LEGO. And I would include terrain-based sets in that, of which this is one. And this makes for a nice scene. It's very photographable from most angles. Even though the foliage is very simple, it gets the right shapes in there, and there's enough volume there. I like what they've done with the sand, kind of feathering it out to whatever surface you have beneath. And the action features of this really don't get in the way at all. This is mostly just a good looking scene, and everything else, the action stuff is just added on. Unfortunately, this set does not come with any of the characters that are really important to this specific setting and some of the specific things that they included here. And then there's the price. As of the time of the recording of this video, I only have the UK price to base any comparison off, but that price itself looks positively bonkers to me. Just insane for what you get here. I mean, this really is just a flat platform that looks very nice, but a flat platform and just enough of a wall to include a door that you can go through. And then there are 4 figures, 2 of which are useful and massable and generic enough, but good for this universe. 2 of which don't really have that much value here. Some, but not enough, in my opinion. Not enough relevance to the key things that happened here. And the price to part ratio doesn't look very good to me. I think that if this ends up being in the US, let's say at the GBP price in dollars, so 55 bucks, that'll be not good. If it's 45 bucks, that'll be not particularly good. If it's 40 bucks, still a stretch. 35, I think, feels about right to me for the volume of stuff that you get here. Given that there is no vehicle, there's no walker, it's just this. And what hurts the value most, I think, is the inclusion of these action features, which aren't that useful. Just popping up a couple of plates from the ground. If you have figures on top of them, that's kind of cool to see them go flying. But the number of parts that went into that, the number of parts that went into building all this down here, which is really not that important for the scene, the number of parts that went into the locking mechanism for the door, which again is not that important to the scene. I feel like all that could have been left out, and they could have brought the price down significantly, or they could have included another couple of figures, or they could have included more stuff to actually build up. Now that I have this set, I am happy to have it. I'm happy to look at it. It looks very nice. I'm happy to have those figures as well. But if I needed to buy it again, I would not be happy. For instance, if I wanted to make another one of these platforms for a larger diorama, or if I wanted to just expand this one, I would not want to buy another one of these sets just to get the parts, because the value really isn't there. I would go to Bricklink and Bricks and Pieces, because you can do so much better than this for stuff that looks good, for a flat platform, expanding it out without paying this kind of price. So those are my thoughts, and hopefully when the US price comes out, at least over here, maybe it'll be a little bit more reasonable, but from what I've seen so far, it's not looking so good. Let me know what you think, what your thoughts are about the set and about its value. If you want to see more reviews from me, which are full critiques including good and bad aspects of sets, be sure to check back on my channel on a regular basis, because more videos are always on the way. May the force be with you and all that, and I'll talk to you again soon.